Said I wasn't doing it. Said I wouldn't do it. I'm doing it. I just wanted to give myself enough time to have a true feeling about this team, where they're headed. I know there's a lot of people that are really negative on this team this year and what could be. That's not me. This hat doesn't really fit the flow, does it? Go Cubs, go. Go Cubs, go. Looks better forward with this hat. Outtake? I don't know. I got a shadow on my face now, though. Whatever. We're here. We're doing this. Da Bears. Bear down. All right, guys. I'm stoked about this season for the Bears. I truly think this is the defining year for Caleb. Ben Johnson here. All the things they've done on offense. I'll give logic behind every single game. But I really think this is a year that's set up. It's destined to be the year the Bears turn it all around. It started the beginning of this year. The Bears are undefeated against the Packers in 2025. That was the turn. That final game, it was valuable. Yes, it dropped our draft position. Maybe we would have taken somebody else if we were, if we picked 5th or 7th overall, if we picked higher because we lost that game. But we didn't. We won that game. Turn the tides. The Bears are primed, in good position now to move forward. Well, one of the biggest reasons people are negative about the Bears this year is that strength of schedule. Second hardest strength of schedule in the entire league this year. What's more interesting, if you break it down, all the teams, I'm not going to read this. You can. This is the NFL scheduling formula, how it works. All the teams for the Bears and for the AFC North, NFC East, AFC West, they're all the top 16 toughest. Those 4 divisions make up the top toughest schedule for all of them. So the bottom half there, the other ones, the NFC West, the NFC South, the AFC East, the AFC South, all should have an easier cakewalk, right? So there's going to be some not so good teams that have an easy strength of schedule that might come out of that and take some playoff spots. You might only see 2 NFC North teams this year in the playoffs because of this. So those 4 divisions, the NFC North, the NFC East especially, are the top 8. So those 2 divisions in the NFC, the North and the East, are the 8 toughest. So it's even more strange than that. The 8 toughest strengths of schedule are those 2 divisions. And a lot of that's because of the way I was just posting down there, the strength of schedule. The scheduling format, our NFC North is going to play the AFC North, and we're going to play the NFC East, and the AFC North is going to play the AFC West, and they're going to play the NFC North this year, and all those divisions are playing each other, making it extremely tough with some really good teams in there. So it's going to be tough to make the playoffs this year, but I think the Bears have it in them to do it. So with that, I kind of flash forward to this a little bit. Last year, it came down to the division. The division really sent us in the wrong direction. That and the Hail Mary, those things, we were so close to being 4-2 in the division, and instead we ended up 1-5 in the division. And this is just a small breakdown of the divisional games. But for that reason, when I do my prediction, I'm going to do 3-3 for the divisional games. It's just the division is always so tough to predict. And obviously the Bears came away with that last game of the year, but week 11, we didn't play a divisional game till week 11. And then week 11 through 18, we played all 6 of them, and it was so critical for the Bears. That first one, week 11, I call it the blocked field goal loss. Very conservative play calling, though. That's the point where you start seeing Matt Eberflus not as a head coach, but only as a defensive coordinator, and he can't handle himself as a head coach. There's so many opportunities the Bears had in that Packers game to put their foot on the pedal, and they didn't. So conservative. So many drives that stopped it before they even got started. It was rough. Week 12, the comeback that wasn't. It was so exciting. Overtime, even getting to overtime with the onside kick, with the comeback, such an exciting thing to watch Caleb do. And then again, just head coaching, those 2 sacks, the opportunities that didn't present, 1 drive out, game over. Didn't even give ourselves an opportunity in overtime. Week 13, obviously, the timeout game. Terrible mismanagement by Matt Eberflus. We owned the second half and the fourth quarter. Everything was within our hands. Obviously, a prime opportunity to win that game, if not anything else, to tie it. We were in field goal range, and just complete terrible mismanagement. Awful. So the Bears lost that one to the Lions. Confidence destroyed in week 15. Absolutely got destroyed by the Vikings. Week 16, survival mode. just started getting ugly. Week 18, hope restored is what I call it. We broke Green Bay's winning streak, up 14-3, and Green Bay pulled a lot of their starters, especially those they were saving for the playoffs. So we'd already put it to them, and then we ended up squeaking it out at the end of the game with the field goal. So good momentum shift for the Bears. And I think this year it's going to be the same type of thing. The division can go either way, and that's why it's hard when you're predicting a schedule. So I'm going to make it easy on this one. I'm going to say the Bears are going to go 3-3 in the division. And which ones of those? I'm going to give my predictions for each game, but on my official prediction list, I'm going to do it just like this. All those could be wins or losses, so I'm just going to say 3-3. That's how I'm going to start this thing out. Win or loss against the Vikings, the Lions, Vikings, Packers, Lions. We'll go 3-3 in the division. That's just a fair way to do it, and it's realistic. Honestly, I think this year the Bears could go 5-1 in the division. I really do believe that they can do that if they get momentum rolling, if they do things the right way and get this thing off to the right start. I think this could be the Bears' year to really change the path of this franchise with Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams. I'm all into the hype right now. I'm all in. Call me Adam Rank, call me a homer, call me what you want. I really am into it right now, and this is going to be my record prediction, and some of you are going to make fun of it. I really think it can happen. So, and as always, I did this last year too. Before I get into it, I'd like to show what Vegas does. So the betting odds for Vegas, if you look up there, they have us at over under 8.5 wins. Very similar to last year. But last year, if you looked at individual games, they had us winning 10 or 11 of those. This year's the opposite. They have us over under 8.5, but the individual games, they only have us winning 7 of those. And those are all highlighted. Green obviously means we're a favorite. For those who don't understand the sports betting, and that picture in the background, that's the Circa downtown Las Vegas. It's the biggest sports betting, biggest screens in the world. So the green ones mean we're favored. The red ones mean we're not favored. We're an underdog by 4.5 points to the Lions in week 2. So the Vikings are a 1.5 point favorite. Lions, underdog by 4.5. Cowboys, the favorite. Raiders favorite. Commanders were an underdog. Saints favorite. Blah, 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 on and on. You'll see we're only favored to win 7 games as it stands right now. That's just how the Vegas sportsbook have it, how the betting odds, how they see us playing this out. So if you're into making some money on betting, no, this isn't a gambling channel. No, I don't sponsor sports betting. I did not take the sponsorship from BetUS or DraftKings or any of that. But it looks like a good opportunity on those individual games to maybe win 1 or 2 of those that maybe they've got us at 8.5 wins, but only individually 7. There could be a prime opportunity for the Bears to win some of those that maybe they're thinking we might not. All right, so let's pull me off screen. We'll pull the wrong thing off screen. We're going to pull up the individual games by game. I'm going to give my quick synopsis on it. I'm going to tell you what I think about it and give you an overall prediction when all is said and done. So week 1, first of 5 primetime games for the Bears. Caleb Williams, first on Monday Night Football for Caleb Williams. First time he'll play on Monday Night Football. Primetime atmosphere combined with J.J. McCarthy's rookie debut should favor the Bears in this one for me. Should have the edge. I'll take the Bears making a statement, keeping the Vikings under 20. And I'll say the Bears are going to put up over 30 to give Ben Johnson a statement win as a new head coach. So I got the Bears winning this one, starting 1-0 against the Vikings at home. Week 2, Ben Johnson's return to Detroit. The league knew what they were doing when they scheduled this one early, for sure. Facing his former team adds to the emotional motivation level. Combine that with coming off a huge week 1 win. While Bears fans are saying Bears need time to adjust to their new offense, the same can be said for the Lions offense. Lost their most critical piece in Ben Johnson. I'm going to call for a Bears win. I'm going to call it a tight one because the emotional motivation, schematic advantage, early season vulnerabilities of the Lions, and Chicago's offseason upgrades. I'm going to say the Bears are going to pull this one off. The Lions are going to be adapting more than the Bears are adapting without Ben Johnson. I'm going to call the revenge game for Ben Johnson a win for the Bears, 2-0. All right, week 3. Expect the Boo Birds to be in full force at Soldier Field on week 3 to welcome Matt Eberflus back to Chicago. I would expect this to be a defensive showing by both teams, and just like Ben Johnson wants to prove himself in his return, Eberflus is going to want to do the same. And if we're being honest, he's 1,000 times better as a defensive coordinator than he was as a head coach. Bears will have home field advantage, though. I expect the Bears to pull out a close one with both teams scoring in the low 20s. I don't expect this to be a barn burner. I see defense winning this one, but I do think the Bears pull it out. I think the sports books got it right on this one, and I think the Bears will pull off the victory against the Cowboys. All right, week 4, this one kind of, anytime they travel, it intimidates me. Could be a trap game. Coming off 3 huge wins, traveling across the country to the desert against a Raiders team that's, quote, in a complete rebuild under Pete Carroll. The Raiders, the key to this one is going to be timing for me. The Raiders have a tough schedule to start the year, and the Bears should be flying high from newfound confidence on those early wins. Combine that with the Legion Stadium being completely taken over by Bears fans, and I think this should be an easy victory. I do have the Bears going 4-0 to start the year. Yes, call me a homer, call me Adam Rink, call me, whatever other guy. There's so many of them that do their predictions every year, and they're high on I am high on the Bears. I do believe the Bears are going to start off this year higher than a lot of people are expecting. And going into week 5, into the bye, they are going to be 4-0. Whatever, call me a homer. I think it's going to set a tone for the rest of the year, and it's going to be exciting for Bears fans. All right, week 6, the revenge game. After the unforgettable Fail Mary, that will guarantee be the highlight of every station leading into this game. I promise you're going to see it more than ever, even more than after it happened. The Bears get an opportunity for primetime payback on Monday Night Football. Coming off a bye and against a weak defensive line, the revamped Bears offense will dominate the Commanders defense and should score 40-plus points. I have no idea how the Commanders are favored in this one with their weak defense. They're one of the worst-ranked defensive lines in the league this year. But should be a feast session for the Bears, and I don't think it'll even be close to a situation where Jaden Daniels is in a position for a Hail Mary again. The Bears will handle him, go to 5-0. All right, week 7, if the Bears weren't playing at home, I would be worried about this being a trap game against New Orleans. They always have a tough time in New Orleans, but they're not. They're at home, so I'm glad it's Soldier Field. This is supposed to be the easiest game on our schedule as well. The Saints are in contention this year to have the number 1 overall pick in 2026. Another revenge game with Dennis Allen getting to face off as the team that fired him. The Bears should be favored on every front. Coaches, quarterback play, wide receivers, offensive, defensive line, secondary, you name it. So this should be an easy victory, going 6-0 to start the year. All right, week 8, all good things must come to an end. After starting the season 6-0, I do have the Bears losing to the Ravens in week 8. The Bears defense should be better against mobile quarterbacks than they were last year. We were one of the worst. But Lamar Jackson is just a whole different level. Combine that with the Ravens being the home team, their run game, and coming off the bye the week before. They have a bye in week 7. I don't think that even the most prepared Ben Johnson team will be able to overcome the odds against them in this one. I'm hoping for a close game that gives the Bears a shot. I just don't see it. I see this being the first loss of the year for the Bears, moving to 6-1, which is completely respectable. All right, week 9, the only time the Bears have to play back-to-back away games this year, at least without a bye in between to break it up. It's not an easy one. The key is going to be completely coming down to how the defense can hold Joe Burrow and that elite offensive play in check. Caleb, Ben Johnson, the offense should be able to do their part against the Bengals defense, but this one will all come down to how well Jalen Johnson, Kyler Gordon, and company can stymie Burrow and the passing attack on defense. I see this being a super close game, but I have the Bears edging out the Bengals to go to 7-1. I think the Bengals are one of the more overrated teams. Mostly because of Joe Burrow, though. Joe Burrow and that offense keep this team together. I think the Bears, in their momentum, will be able to handle them, go to 7-1. All right. Week 10, the scheduling to build a new offense under Ben Johnson is almost too perfect, but it's going to get tougher after week 10. As we head into conference and division, the Bears have won 4 straight against the Giants. I don't think this is the year that they end that. The Giants' biggest strength that will keep them in games is their defensive line, but the Bears' offensive line will counter that. And in every other area, it's basically a strength for the Bears. So this should be a blowout in every way. And the most forecasts have the Bears beating them by, winning, having 30 to 40 points and them giving up only 20. So everyone sees this one as a blowout. I agree. The Bears will win, go to 8-1. All right, week 11, game number 2 versus the Vikings. Excuse the computer there. J.J. McCarthy should have his rookie legs under him by now. And Kevin O'Connell's no joke, obviously. It's in Minnesota as well. And remember what I said about divisional games. Going to try to keep things down to earth a little bit here. I'm going to hand this one, the Bears, their second loss of the season. The Vikings are upgraded in every way as well. Their offensive line, defensive line, their secondary. It's just a matter of how quick J.J. McCarthy can come along. I believe the Vikings will be the other playoff team from the NFC North. It will be a game that will help them get there. The Vikings are favored to win this one. They are at home, but I do think it'll be a close one. I've got the Bears going to 8-2 after this game. All right, week 12. This one got interesting after today's news. The Steelers just made a bunch of lateral moves that did a whole lot of nothing, but put them back in the spotlight of attention. Geriatric Aaron Rodgers isn't the same intimidating superstar that used to own the Bears. He'll get to experience one more visit to Soldier Field before he's said and done. He's already said he's done after this year. I have no doubt Bears fans will absolutely be ruthless towards him. Please, if you're there, discount, double check his ass nonstop, But in actual analysis, this should be the tight end game. Colston Loveland, Cole Kmet should both feast against the Steelers. I expect Ben Johnson to drop some magic for the tight ends. The Steelers are terrible against tight ends, so this should be fun for the Bears. Moving to 9-2. All right, week 13, a road game. A road game against Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles. Jalen Hurts is efficient and reliable and knows how to manage games. He was the most accurate quarterback in the league last year as the only quarterback with an adjusted completion percentage over 80%. Saquon Barkley, add him to the mix, an elite defensive unit, home field advantage. I'm just going to realistically give the Bears the loss on this one, moving them to a very respectable 9-3 on the year. I'm homering for my Bears, but I've got it. I've got my limits. I think they'll lose this one to the Eagles. Move to 9-3 on the year. All right, week 14, where it gets fun and exciting again. At Lambeau Field, where Caleb Williams is undefeated and will continue to be undefeated.
Green Bay, Wisconsin! Is that all you got? Come on, you can be louder than that! I know y'all mad because championship gold looks good on the blue and orange. But in all seriousness, Green Bay, we are in the shadow of Lambeau Field. And I love Lambeau Field because the king of the North, the best quarterback in the NFC North, Caleb Williams, is undefeated at Lambeau Field.
Gotta love Seth Rollins. All right, at this point, Caleb will be emerging as a star, and the Bears finally have the coaching edge that has been the only reason the Packers have been beating us for years. Advantage Bears. Strategically, the Packers' defense has been their historical strength over the last 2 seasons. They have shown signs of vulnerability there, particularly in the most high pressure of situations. Under Ben Johnson's guidance, the Bears are primed to exploit those weaknesses. In the end, the combination of Caleb Williams' development, strategic coaching, the Packers' defensive vulnerabilities, recent positive trends for the Bears, and the fierce rivalry dynamics set the stage for the Bears' victory in Week 14. Moving to 10-3. All right, Week 15. Who will the Brownies quarterback be by Week 15? Anyone who says they know is lying to you. They don't have a clue. Could be any one of 5 guys, maybe even more. Again, playing at home against an inferior team might lead to a trap, but the Bears will be in full playoff mode at this point at 10-3. I don't see the Bears letting up here, and as a team that's gaining respect with the league and analysts, the game should secure a playoff berth for the Bears with a win going to 11-3. So I'm predicting Week 15, the Bears will lock up a playoff spot by going to 11-3. All right, Week 16. I know. I said I'll split the divisional matchups, but I just don't see it happening against the Packers this year. For my final prediction, I'll put the divisional games at 3-3 like I showed because, as I said, anything can happen and probably will happen within divisional rivalry games. But the fan in me and the just seeing what the Bears have done and Jordan, I just can't. I don't see the Packers beating us in 2025. I don't. Yes, it'll make the Bears 3-0 in 2025 against the Packers. Yes, it'll put it 12-3. Home field advantage. Better team, better coach. Lock it in. Bears beat the Packers at home and to eliminate the Packers from playoff contention after losing to the Bears for the second straight time in the last 3 weeks. Boom, baby. I got that one. This is what it's going to be. Just lock it down. Lock it down right now. December 20th. They're cooked. All right. I hate when the Bears travel all the way across the country to San Francisco. So stupid that it's the second time in as many years. Long schedule after a week 5 bye will set it up for one of the 49ers will be fighting for home team advantage or home field advantage for the best record in the NFC. The Niners have the easiest strength of schedule in the league. Despite a lot of turnover, the Niners still boast several superstars. Ultimately, fresher legs at home field advantage in this one. The Bears haven't had a bye since week 5. This is going to be tough for the Bears. I see the Bears losing this one, falling to 12-4. All right, Week 18. This is the hardest one to predict because by this point, the Bears will be resting their starters after having secured the division but lost out on the best record of the NFC with that loss to the Niners. It's going to be pride to play for against the Kitty Cats, though, and Ben Johnson is going to be extra motivated every time he faces the Lions. Expect Tyson Bagent to get the start and to put on a show in his prove-it game that he belongs in the league. The Bears will have home field advantage, especially on wintry Soldier Field in January. The finale checks all the boxes for a Bears win. High stakes, home winter advantage, rivalry intensity, potential drop-off from Detroit. If they execute, Week 18 should be satisfyingly an explanation point for the Bears season. I know I said I would split the season with the division, but I'm putting the Bears at 13-4. But for the official prediction, I'll put it at 3-3 and in the division and end up going 11-6. So you see here on the official prediction, I changed it, which is completely exciting and huge for Bears fan. I think any Bears fan would be excited to go 11-6, but this is my official prediction for the 2025 Chicago Bears season. I know, call me a homer if you want to, but I really think this is realistic. If you take the divisional games away, move them to 3-3, 3 wins, 3 losses, however that comes, the rest of these games, it really could play out this way. So I know this is one that's over talked about. A lot of you are sick of the predictions. Let's get to the season. I get it, but I really feel like I have a basis for every one of these. So I'm putting it out there. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So is this possible? Is it with the scenarios I've set up? It's obviously possible, but will the Bears be able to do this? Can we finally have some excitement? Can we finally start to homer about this team? Can we finally get our generational quarterback? Can we finally have a coach who gives us the coaching edge over other teams when normally we should have won some of those games, but we lost because of the coaching edge? That's my thought on it. Ben Johnson, Caleb Williams, this team is primed for this type of season. So I'm going to say 11-6. I really think we could go 13-4. And a floor, I'd probably say a floor about 9-8. I really do think the floor, I don't think will be any worse than 9-8 on this season. I really don't. Even with a tough strength of schedule, those tough games, I think this team is set up for at least a 9-8. I'm going to say 11-6, but at a ceiling, 13-4, and I hope it would be 13-4. That'd be a lot of fun. So let me know what you guys think in the comments. You know, have fun with this one. Get spirited, get debateful if you want to, hate on the team if you want to. I'm choosing to homer on them right now. I'm choosing to be very excited. I think it's an exciting time to be a Bears fan. So with that, I appreciate you guys tuning in. If you haven't hit the like button, please do that. If you haven't subscribed, please do that. Until next time, the Bears and Bear Down.
Bear down, sports making Chicago proud.